Hi folks, Jack here obviously. Going to do one of these Wednesday night things, so I hope there are a few of you there. Maybe you could let me know if you can hear me and see me. And if you can and I get the feedback, we'll get started. So anyone there, guys? Oh, good stuff, Lillian, thank you. Always appreciate you being in an audience, Lillian. Sheena Milligan, thank you. Jane Quinn, wonderful. Neil Smith, well done Neil, thanks for coming on. Stephen Pilley, good stuff, we're getting there. Good to hear, Lillian, fantastic. David, thanks for coming on. Okay, let's get going. So I thought we'd take a break from my sort of haphazard interviews of people when we don't have the ability to go live with them. But I do have some people lined up, so I thought I would do some basic stuff tonight, take some questions and maybe get your feedback on a few things in terms of who we might work with in the future if you're still fancy doing this. So what I maybe do is if you hold back from any questions till I get through some of the initial stuff, then I'll take your questions if that will help. And as I say, I've got some questions to ask you. So here's the thing. Let's practice what we actually preach. One of the big things, obviously the current reality in all our lives is COVID-19, coronavirus. And apart from all the stuff that maybe I've been pushing you towards looking at, and I only do that with the best intentions, you'll appreciate that, is that without doubt, managing our stress at this time is absolutely critical, and managing fears and anxieties. And we've covered all of that in the previous live sessions. If anyone needs access to them, you can now get them on Jack Black Mind Store channel on YouTube. You go in there and just go to playlists and you'll find there's now 7 of them, believe it or not, and this will be an 8th when we put it up later on. So you can go back there and look at that stuff. But let's practice what we kind of preach with Mind Store particularly, which is let's do a meditation before we begin. Let's just get rid of the stress of the day so we can sort of enjoy the time we've got together. Let's do the triple whammy. And if you're a beginner here, you've just tuned in, someone's recommended you come and go on board, you're more than welcome. The way we do our controlled meditation, calm imagination thing is very simple. It'll be kind of obvious to you as you go. The only bit that might not be is there comes a point where we do 7 inhales, inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, you imagine, and I'll mention the parts of the body, you just imagine brilliant white light coming in through the soles of your feet, initially to your feet, up to your ankles, then we'll be up to your knees and so on. And then we do something called the inner smile, which is quite strange because your eyes will be shut, you'll be sitting there, and I'm asking you to smile. Form a smile on your face and smile to each part of your body as I mention it. Actually imagine smiling towards it through appreciation. Very powerful, very good for you. And so we do the triple whammy, the classic Mind Store relaxation, the breathing in the brilliant white light, which is very important for what we're doing in the other pages, as you know, and the inner smile. So let's do that first. Get a little quick meditation. And what it may be worthwhile do is just time this so you know how long it takes us to do this. I'm not going to do it very quickly or slowly. I'll just do it at a natural pace. We'll see how long it takes, okay? But enjoy it. So first of all, if you are a beginner, what we do is we close our eyes in a moment, but first of all, sit in your chair, sit towards the back of your chair if you can, to get support if you need it, if you've got a back challenge, or come to the edge, which is my preference, so you're just using your body to hold you up. You want both feet firmly on the ground, about shoulder width apart. Then position your knees directly over your ankles, your shoulders over your hips, and your ears over your shoulders. And when you do that, you're sitting up straight. Now take your hands, rest them in your lap, palms up. I know some techniques of the hands down. We're hands up, and we take the thumb and first 2 fingers of both hands and bring them together into what's known in the East as the Kubera Mudra, or in the West, the 3 fingers technique. And this just enhances the relaxation. It's an old sort of Eastern sort of meditation type rituals use it a lot. And we use it here also as an anchor, maybe later on, at a future stage of this stuff, we can maybe how you can use this in ways during your working day or during your normal day, which will be useful. But anyway, and you close your eyes. So let's find the position. So your knees are over your ankles, shoulders over your hips, ears over shoulders, hands on your lap, palms up, thumb and first two fingers of both hands just touching, and close your eyes. And take a big deep breath, and as you exhale, relax. Take another deep breath, and again, relax. And take one more deep breath, and as you exhale, relax even more. Now, if you're a beginner, just trust me and come with me. Relax your scalp. Now, how to do that if you're a beginner, just simply say to yourself, I feel my scalp relaxing. My scalp is relaxed. Relax your scalp. I feel my scalp relaxing. My scalp is relaxed. Now focus on your forehead. I feel my forehead relaxing. My forehead is relaxed. And your brain will process that, and off you'll go into relaxation. And at the end of this relaxation, I will count from 1 to 7, and when you reach 7, you'll open your eyes, you'll be wide awake, vibrant and revitalised, both physically and mentally. So, until we get to 7, keep your eyes closed. Now, bring your awareness to your face and feel your face. Now, relax your face. I feel my face relaxing. My face is relaxed. Relax your jaw. It's amazing how the jaw can just build up stress through the day. Just let your jaw go. Now bring your focus to your lips. They're highly sensitive. And now, if you focus on them, you'll feel what the Chinese call qi, the Japanese ki, and the Indian subcontinent, prana. We might use the words life force. But feel that in your lips right now. And if all you're feeling is the blood flowing through your blood vessels in your lips, and that's how you want to process it, that's absolutely fine. Although I like the idea of qi. Relax your lips. Now, because of our current reality, bring your focus to your nostrils. And just bring the focus just inside your nostrils, the very edge. Relax your nostrils. And imagine the flow of relaxation moving through your nostrils into, I'm going to use this word, the architecture of your nose. Both nostrils, all the way in, right to the very back, where it starts to sort of come in contact with your throat, and there your sinuses, and so on. And just imagine all of that stuff at the back of your nose, in your head there, relaxing. Wow, really powerful, eh? Now come back to your lips and feel the relaxation now slipping through your lips and into the architecture of your mouth. Feel the relaxation in your inner cheeks, around your gums, your palate. And now take your tongue and ever so gently turn her up and touch the roof of your mouth with the tip of your tongue directly behind your front 2 teeth. Do this now. This is an ancient Taoist meditation technique. Now, I tested this and the 3 fingers thing at Stirling University about 30 years ago now to check if, when I did it, I would produce what's called alpha theta rhythms, and I did. I did. And some of you will see that what I've been doing recently is when I'm posting on Facebook, I'm putting up some of the old sort of bits and pieces of the marketing we had way back then. It was having gone to Stirling University and testing all this stuff myself that gave me the confidence to really start Mindstore and go for it. And you see the early attempts at marketing, the early branding, if you've been looking. So now allow the relaxation to flow from the tip of your mouth, through the root of your throat, the root of your tongue, into your throat now. And we all know now the importance of relaxing our throats. Relax your throat. Really appreciate your throat. Relax your neck. Now feel the clothing resting on your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper back. Relax your chest. Now, whenever we relax this area of our body, our arms and hands automatically relax anyway. But just imagine the relaxation flowing down your arms, down your arms, past your elbows, into your forearms, your wrists, your palms, and your fingertips as they now caress. Relax your heart. Big organ now in the world, huge. Not just what it's doing for our bodies, but what it stands for. To love and be loved. Relax your lungs. Oh my goodness. Relax your lungs. And as you relax both your heart and your lungs, just appreciate how wonderful those organs are and the job that's so critical that they do every day of your life. We don't even think about it. Relax your abdomen. Relax your lower back. Now, bring your focus to your thighs. And I like to just feel, I've got jeans on just now, so the jeans, I can feel them on my thighs. Feel the clothing resting on your thighs. Relax your thighs. I feel my thighs relaxing. My thighs are relaxed. Relax your knees. Relax your calves. Now, especially working away at a desk all day, the calves can get really tight. Relax your calves. And I always like to stop at my ankles, just to feel my ankles. Feel the chi, which I've talked about already. Feel the life force in your ankles right now. Wow. That life force is there all the time, of course, until you focus on the area of your body, you're not aware of it. Let's appreciate our ankles. They hold up all of your body. Relax your toes, the soles of your feet and your heels. And take a big, deep breath, and as you exhale, relax even more. Now, we'll do these 7 inhalations now. So if you're new, you're going to imagine bringing brilliant white light in through the soles of your feet, initially up to your ankles, so all of every part of each foot is completely filled inside with light, brilliant white light. Then you'll see what we're doing. So let's begin. Take a big deep breath and draw in now the white light into your feet, up to your ankles. Another inhalation now up to your knees, and another inhalation up to your up to your waist, and another inhalation up through your entire torso, up to your neck. Now from your fingertips all the way up your arms, again to your neck. And the final inhalation, the penultimate inhalation, now into your entire head space. So all that stuff with your nose that you were doing a moment or two ago, it's now brilliant white light, your brain's brilliant white light. Now a final inhalation, imagine a ball of brilliant white light surrounding you. Wow. Now let's move to the inner smile. Form a smile on your face. Really smile, really exaggerate the smile, as if you're just watching the funniest movie that's ever been on. You've been laughing your head off and you're smiling at friends. Big smile. Now smile, first of all, to your face, to you, because you're special. And those of you who have been joining us in the COVID team, well, I think you know now that you're special. You're special. Smile to yourself. Smile now to your throat. We've just been there with the relaxation. Let's go back now. With every smile, appreciate. Be grateful for what that part of your body's doing. So smile to your throat. Smile to your thymus gland. It's a little gland. Some say it's like an almond-sized gland. It's just below that little notch in your neck there, just above the breastplate. Just about an inch behind there. Smile your thymus gland. Apparently it's got a lot to do with the immune system. We keep hearing about that now. Now relax to smile to your heart. Smile to everything it means, not just its job, but smile about being loved and loving. Smile to your heart. Smile to your lungs. Now smile to your liver, big organ, right side of the body. Smile to your spleen, big organ, left side of the body. You don't have to know specifically what these organs do. I don't know either. I'm not a doctor. So let's not go there. You don't have to go there. I don't study anatomy, but I've got a rough idea where they are. And when I smile there, I sense that they're feeling me smiling. I just trust that, and they're appreciating it because I'm caring about them. Smile now to your pancreas in the middle. Smile to both your kidneys, towards the back there, kind of up there. Smile to your kidneys, oh, what a job they do. Smile to your bladder. And smile to your sexual organs. When I've been doing this in public courses, I've mentioned this before, everybody, not everybody, but other people sort of snigger or smile at this point, a little laughter in the audience, and that's just fine. Smile to your sexual organs. Smile back now to your face again. Now smile to your eyes, and notice when you smile to your eyes, you feel something happening in your eyes. Feel it, really stretch the smile and feel your eyes smiling. Now watch what happens now. Smile to your brain and feel that go through your brain. Wow, you can feel it. It's happening all over your body. Now smile to your skull that holds that brain. And then the vertebrae going down your entire back. In other words, smile to your skeletal structure and every single aspect of all those bones. Smile to your coccyx. Smile to your stomach. Smile to your intestines. Smile to yourself. Smile to the world. And smile to someone out there who you think could do with a smile right now. Fantastic. And we would then go on to the landscape. We would go to the fountain and draw some water. But you can get that in a previous exercise, and you can come and join us on the COVID team. We'll talk about that later, and you'll be able to go back through that again. Now, let's get ready to go through the process of coming out of the relaxation into the wide awake state, then we can continue with the rest of the evening. So I'll now count. So if you're a beginner, don't open your eyes till you get to 7, but do come with us in the process. Once you understand the process, you've got it for the rest of your life. And as we say in Mindstore, it only works. So let me count slowly from 1 to 7, and when you get to 7, you'll open your eyes, you'll be wide awake, vibrant and revitalised, physically and mentally. I will now count 1, 2, 3, 4, now beyond the midpoint on the way to opening your eyes. 5, always at 5, begin to adjust your body. Begin to bring some feeling back into your body, have a gentle stretch, as if you were waking up in the morning. You might stretch your arms, you move your legs, your head. 6, prepare to open your eyes. You could at 6, but you don't, you just prepare to do it. Now 7, gently open your eyes, have a big stretch. If you want to stand up and stretch, feel absolutely free. And if you're sharing this with someone else in the room, big smile to them. On you go. Fantastic. So, you know, what we know is by doing these relaxations, and I don't know how long that was, but if we, I don't know, what was that, about 15 minutes? You know, you add a few more minutes onto that if you join the COVID group, and you've done some amazing stuff by then to help another human being, other human beings that will be around them, and in fact the building in which they're in when we look at that more advanced stuff. But you can come and join us there. Just request to join Mindstore COVID team. Now when I was typing that in to create the page, my phone for some reason chose COVID rather than COVID, but that's fine. So it's the Mindstore COVID team page on Facebook. Request to join, and I'll get you on there, guys, and you can become part of it. What I'm going to do, those of you who are, is I keep promising, but I will get down to it tomorrow. Tomorrow I will run another live session on there to take people through the entire process of what we're doing with COVID-19 patients in hospitals and in care homes. And now we need to be concerned too, it would seem, for those of them who may also be in other locations, particularly within their homes, or even hospices. I picked that up today, I don't know if you did too, but there you go. So anyway, so guys, what I thought was, it might be an idea for me to take some questions if anyone's got any. And I'll maybe just quickly go through a few things as well, see if it can stimulate some chat. I mean, one of the things I've said already is what we've just done. By doing this triple whammy, we maximise the stress management response by just doing a guided meditation, a relaxation. I've said already, when you get down there and you've done the triple whammy, you could, if you don't want to get involved in the COVID thing, that's fine. But what you could do, for example, is you could maybe have set a timer. You saw that 15 minutes, you can maybe set a half-hour timer. You know that 15 minutes will be that process. Then 15 minutes of, say, using a mantra. And a mantra could be some mantra that you know that's pretty special because it's been around for thousands of years and it's been used by all sorts of belief systems. For example, Om. You may have heard that one before. I'm not going to do it properly just now, but you know the one. And I do that from time to time and it's fantastic. But you can also just use anything. I mean, I joke about it, but you could be interested in having, and at some point in your life, let's say the COVID thing, we all get healthy again, we know how to deal with it. You might want to go and spend some time in Barcelona. Barcelona is a wonderful mantra. Barcelona, Barcelona, Barcelona. Mallorca, Mallorca, Mallorca. Brazil, Brazil, Brazil. If you want to travel, you can use that. If you've got a goal, say, one of the things I'm thinking about now is, because I want to go on planes so much for holidays, I'm thinking camper van, camper van, camper van. Wow, what a wonderful idea. Hey, just whatever you want, use it as a mantra, and that's fine. And then half an hour goes by, you've done the relaxation, you've done your mantra, you get a signal, time to finish, you count from 1 to 7 and there you go. Very powerful. But what I've also been doing, teasing in recent times, of course, is particularly with the last one, with Ivor. I hope you really, really, really enjoyed that. I mean, he is a giant in the field of people who are desperately wanting to get the better of heart disease, to counteract heart disease, to stop, quite frankly, the nonsense of the paradigm that we've all been living with for 50 years and more. And if you go looking to find out, it's not conspiracies, it's just well-meaning people caught in a paradigm that was badly constructed by pretty lazy scientists at the time, and it became just popular and it just became the thing. But what we're now knowing is that the people who are not surviving well with the COVID thing, they've got metabolic disease. What we're hearing is that they tend to have hypertension, they're obese, they are type 2 diabetics or pre-type 2 diabetics. They've got heart disease. And these people particularly, and you heard Ivor talk about the percentage, the unbelievable percentage of people, and what he basically said to all of you was, and I hope you heard it, if you're overweight at all, good chances you're pre-diabetic. Pre-diabetic. And what he also said, of course, even people who are seriously diabetic, like that doctor friend of his, just by going low carb, finding support to do that, and enjoying your food, what happens is within 2 weeks, 10 days, that doctor reversed himself out of type 2 diabetes, of which he had suffered from for years. on the Low Carb MD's podcast I listened to, Walking the Dog, just before I came on, they're talking there about people having major challenges with COVID because they have fatty liver disease. And what they were pointing out was that doing the type of stuff that we do with the low carb thing, where we very often find ourselves, we're no longer hungry, so don't have 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day. We might have 1 or 2. By that experience, that just by fasting, or what's called intermittent fasting, 3 days, I was hearing that some people have got rid of all their fatty liver, all of it. But before, if they had COVID or a major operation, that would have been difficult in terms of how the body would be responding. Operation. 3 days, guys. 10 days. One of the things that's obvious about this COVID thing, I'm not talking about it again, just to put the T's in, the seed in. It's pretty obvious 2 weeks from now it'll still be here. 2 weeks from now it'll still be here. 4 weeks from now it'll still be here. What if it's always going to be here? And yet you change not a lot of what you're eating, no longer any processed foods, and you just cook real food, and you cut down on the carbs, major cut down, change the fats you're having. 2 weeks. You could reverse yourself, certainly with help of your doctor and so on, begin to get yourself off medication and so on over a relatively short period of time. And if it is the case, whatever we're hearing, those of us go looking to find out, sooner or later, each of us are probably going to encounter it, because it ain't going away, then we'll be strong enough to deal with it. So go, I've recommended stuff, go and listen, get out of your comfort zone and go and listen. Listen to the voices of the doctors, listen to the voices of the researchers, listen to the voices of the professor. Hear the love, hear the passion. Know that they had to step out of the paradigm and have been ridiculed. In the case of Professor Tim Noakes, go and listen to his story. It is inspiring. That man is still out there doing what he can to change this paradigm. There's endless people all out there. Anyway, so I wondered about future guests. I got the impression that you, and those of you who've commented, that you really enjoyed Ivor. Ideally, I would like to do that with Zoom simultaneously onto Facebook. I know you can do that now, but the thing is, I can't always get the guys who want to be interviewed to do it at the time. And so the issue I had last week is, although I had it there ready to show you, if I upload it to Facebook, it can take, as it did the next day, it took 2 hours to upload. So we'd be sitting here forever waiting. That's why I let you see it. It's a wee bit naff. But maybe we could still do that and enjoy that together. And then it'll be uploaded the next day. By the time you get up in the morning, whatever, it'll be there. And you can get access to it and access to it on the YouTube channel. So the thing I was wondering was, I've been in touch with Ivor and I've asked him if anybody in his network might be interested in being interviewed. So that would be another picture. And if he doesn't come back, he said he's extraordinarily busy. I know he is, because he keeps putting out podcasts. Some of you hope have sort of subscribed to him and have had those podcasts, which are amazing. He's coming every week now. He's doing stuff on the latest research into COVID-19, the latest research. He's out there getting it for his guys and giving us feedback on it. So he hasn't come back yet, but if he doesn't come back for whatever reason, then I'll reach out to some of the big names and see if I can get them to come. And it'd be good to know whether you think that would be something you would like to, have me interview one of these guys, and we'll maybe get a woman next time. And we can hear them talk about, what the COVID thing and how they got into this and what they believe. And that might inspire you. So that would be one. I've already reached out to Lothar. Klaus did my behalf. Lothar is up for it. He hasn't come back yet. He's a very busy guy. Once he comes back, we'll get Lothar. You'll really enjoy a conversation with Lothar. And what I might do is, if we know we're getting them, then I'll ask you, if you want to give me questions, I'll ask on your behalf. Lothar he's just one of these guys, you fall in love with him, the moment you hear him and see him, he's just amazing. Okay, let me see what else we could maybe do in terms of that. I've got a guy lined up who I met on holiday in February when I was over in Naples in Florida. We went to stay at an Airbnb, fantastic place in the woods just north of Naples. And they were a lovely couple, and we befriended them. And he's the kind of guy that likes doing a bit of research. So and he's interested in distance healing. So when we took the risk to do this distance healing stuff, I asked if he wouldn't mind looking into the research, what's going on. And he's agreed to do that. And all going well, we can get him up maybe next week. And I'll have a conversation with him about what he's finding. You might find that helpful. That would be pretty cool, I would think. So I'm looking forward to that one. And I hope that would help you. Let me see what else we might do. Here's one that's quite interesting. I don't know, let me know what you think about this. And I'll see it, I won't see it just now, but I'll see it in the morning when I look back at all those comments. But I just heard today an astonishing interview with an astrologer who deals with investments. This guy's in his 70s, he's been doing business astrology, particularly the market. And he's got huge followers in America. He was interviewed, I had an interview with him by a doctor, and he's talking about why the universe is where it is at the moment in terms of astrology, why we're repeating what they call, the cycles that are happening, that some go back 800 years, 400 years, and so on, and how this whole COVID thing kind of makes sense, and the financial thing that's happening, which kind of makes sense, and then where it's heading to, and the timescales. I was absolutely mesmerised. Now, if you're open-minded and you think you might be interested in that one, I could see if we can get that guy or someone like him. They fascinate me because it's so blooming accurate, it's frightening, but it's also so inspiring. And, I didn't get to where I got to with being closed-minded. Right from day one, 30 years ago, you see that stuff those photographs I'm putting up. The first one was back in '92. And the stuff before that, I just can't put my hand on it. I didn't get to where I got to by being, Jack Ordinary. I was always taking risks about doing things differently. I was looking for the alternative. I was looking for the complementary. And I find to programming and to the power of MindStore that understanding astrology, your own, not the stuff you get in magazines, not that nonsense, but your own specific moment of your birth, captured in that moment is your essence, reflected in wherever the planets were at that point. That stuff fascinates me, and I'd love to introduce you to it. You don't have to get involved, it's not going to cost you anything, but I think you'd enjoy a conversation about our current reality from that perspective. And if I get the feedback that you're interested, I'll go about getting someone to interview like that. Is that okay, guys? Anyway, so I can see some of you are really excited about that. That's fantastic. And can I say, it's definitely not the stuff you get in magazines, okay? It's none of that sort of every Sunday, the colour supplement back page thing. It's not that. Okay, it's very profound. And anyway, so we'll move on from that. So let me see, guys, what have we got? Yeah, we've just gone half an hour. Is there any questions from what's been going on with what we're doing that you might want to ask, and I can pick up on it? I'm looking over here at the left-hand side. So we're getting lots of things for the astrologer. That's really good. I'm really excited about that because that will help you really well. Yeah, okay, good stuff, guys. So any questions about anything that came up, say, from Ivor, or that crossed your mind, or Klaus's great contribution? Let's remember that. That was fantastic. Particularly about, remember, with Ivor as well, the coincidence of getting out in the light. Ivor said sunshine specifically. Klaus was just pointing out you don't have to have the sun. There's enough light coming through the clouds of a Glasgow day for you to get enough light on your face, on your skin. That's critical, that vitamin D thing. Again, it's big apparently in the COVID thing. So anyway, So it looks like the astrology is one I watch, so it's good. Any questions, guys, about anything? If there's any questions, I'll just pick up on some stuff and we'll deal with it. Let me see what I've got here. Again, one of the things I keep seeing coming up that's relevant, really relevant to current reality, is making sure you're managing your stress. Make sure that you're practicing. Well, here's someone here. How to understand keto. Get so confused. I can't take dairy and wheat. Well, that's okay. You can do. This thing about keto and low carb. It's a wide church. Okay, you can do it as a vegan. And we'll come back to that. You can do it as a vegan, and you can do it as I often do as an absolute, totally committed carnivore. I used to be vegan. I used to be vegetarian. I'm now over the other side of the continuum. But you can do it anywhere in between. Pescatarian, you don't have to have dairy. You certainly would never want to do it, whether you're a vegan or a vegetarian or pescatarian, whatever, by eating wheat. I think Ivor got to it. It's not so much, look, the wheat that my grandmother used to make these amazing loaves when I was a child. Of course I could eat that. But the industry no longer produces that wheat, and it's highly toxic, and it's processed, and as you heard, and the carb content, the sugar content. One of the guys that he mentioned last week was, put his name up. He's not jumping at my head right now, but I'll put a link onto it tomorrow. The guy who was a doctor. I mean, just like your doctor, but this guy tells his story. His name will come back to me. And a doctor somewhere in northern England, and all his life he just sees the diabetes thing go up and up and up, and he had nothing for them. He would just give them whatever the drugs were that they could give them, and he could see it as a progression that wasn't nice. There was no belief it could be reversed, no belief it was curable, and it really, really distressed him. And he got towards the end of his career. It was time to retire, and he came across the low carb keto thing. He then goes and looks at it and discovers that he can reverse his patients out of diabetes type 2 by using this keto thing, or the low carb thing. You don't have to worry about keto, it's just low carb. Go and, listen to that. Go and find that guy. I'll give you a link to him tomorrow. It's not jumping in my head. You must, Ivor's recommending him. Go and listen to him, and listen to him being interviewed on the Low Carb MD podcast. 2 American doctors interview this guy from England. 3 doctors. You've got to hear them, guys. But anyway, so the thing is, it's a white church. But the thing I concern myself about vegans, I really do. I worry about them. Not because I understand exactly why they're doing it. I did it. But if they're doing it with processed food, and if they're doing it by picking up the latest, I get occasionally the newspaper, and if I do, and certainly I look online, and you get a recipe to help the vegans. I've not read one of them that's healthy. Not one. Because I've started always using vegetable oil. Always. Vegetable oils. There's none of them healthy. None. Not one of them. I put enough, thousands of hours into it. Not one of them are good for you. I used to eat them all the time. Olive oil is a fruit oil. Fruit oil. Not a vegetable oil. Anyway. So I worry about that, and I worry about not only have I got the fats in there, the wrong fats, but I've got a lot of carbohydrate. And you need to be careful if you're a vegan, but you can do it as a vegan. There's a wonderful book called Ketotarian by Dr. Will Cole. Go and check that book out, and he gives you everything you need. And he would love people to do it as a vegetarian or a vegan, because he's more into that than the guys that I'm into who are equally passionate about it within the spectrum. Who are carnivore. Some of the stuff that's there, particularly for those of us getting older, about eating more protein, which is counterintuitive to what we're being told. But anyway, so white church, go and have a look at it, and we'll maybe get someone else on to explain this, so I'm better than me and you can trust yourself to go in. Remember, 2 weeks from now, you could be ready for COVID, apparently, if you really got into it. And that was a guy who was a doctor, who was seriously ill with type 2 diabetes and got reversed out of it, the markers, in 2 weeks. Didn't say he got off his medication immediately. That take a little while, get the support of your doctor and so on, but get ready to be able to face anything. Anyway, because what's obvious about this COVID thing is, once they sort this, there'll be another and another and another. And of course the paradigm that's looking at it is to do with the usual paradigm, so they want us all to get an injection. Don't know if I'll be doing that, guys. They might force us to do it. Might be getting into an age group where they'll force us to do it. Might go to prison. Who knows? Anyway, and that's not being irresponsible. It's just because don't know if that model's going to work, guys. As someone said really powerfully, Tim Noakes, in fact, Professor Tim Noakes said, you can't fix a nutritional disease with a pharmaceutical. And so the people who are dying of COVID are either at the later stages of life when they might have died anyway with the flu, dying with this stuff that comes from what they've been eating for 40, 50 years. The so-called healthy diet. Anyway, fascinating stuff. But there you go. Not saying you have to follow me and don't take the injection when it becomes available. But the point is, COVID-19, there'll be a COVID-20, there'll be a COVID-22, or whatever it's going to be, and as we get older and so on, let's maximise our ability to fight these things off. So far, the informed science is pointing in one direction only. But their guys are looking for a pharmaceutical solution. Why wait? Anyway, so let me see. So back to the stress thing. We manage our stress and we learn to tap. And we tap every day to get rid of any subconscious level of anxiety or fear around the COVID thing. And I remember Roger Callahan saying to me, look, just do it every day. Do it every day. And do it as often as you like in the day, because you don't know where the subconscious little levels, it's just little vibrations of anxiety that come in. And if you start doing it regularly, and just go back and find it. It's in, I think it was the third show or the fourth one, or whatever it was, a way back there. You can go into the YouTube channel today, and I've written a little bit about them, so you can find the one you want and go and watch it. Teach yourself that. Teach your family. Yep. Learn to do it for a child. Hold their hand and you tap your own body and their anxiety will go away. Do it for your dog, your animals. It's amazing. Anyway, any question? Let me see. Can I fix functional disease with pharmaceutical solution? Can't it fix functional disease with pharmaceutical solutions? Oh, can it fit? Well, what's interesting, what Tim Noakes said, I'm just taking that guy at face value because he's an amazing doctor. Professor Tim Noakes, before he got vilified for making comments on Twitter about low-carb diet, he was the most highest ranking research scientist in the whole of South Africa, and overnight went from there to be the villain of the piece, just because he faced up to this issue like others have. Anyway, what he said was a nutritional disease cannot be fixed with a pharmaceutical solution. And as you say, Jane, it's fabulous, isn't it? Can't be, because yes, you could get a benefit from a pharmaceutical product, but there's always side effects. Why not just do something natural and take something that's not natural into your system if you don't have to? Look, I've used pharmaceuticals, of course I have, but I've always gone for the alternative, the natural, the complementary. Yep. But hey, if I've needed an operation in the past, I did when I was younger, fell a few times, knocked myself out. I was more than delighted to get anaesthetised and have an operation and so on. Who wouldn't be? But anyway, common sense maybe. Yeah, I see that now, Jane. Thank you. I've not got glasses on. I still see this tiny light writing that's on my phone here. That's why I'm coming up close to the screen, guys. Are there any questions? I'm babbling on a wee bit today, but I didn't mean to do that. But any questions I can help anyone with in terms of typical Mindstore stuff, our approach? Remember day-to-day, moment-to-moment, manage your thoughts. You know, remember the fantastic delete that program, replace with a positive. You know, it's that you know, it's right at the start. You might remember me signing all those courses a way back. And there's no point in me getting to all the sexy stuff in Mindstore, like the goal setting, the middle of the night programming, and all that amazing stuff, and the inner coaches and things like that. There's no point in me getting there if someone asks you tomorrow, how are you, and you still say, not bad, thanks. And let's be honest, some of you are still doing that because you didn't really do the work. Oh, Lillian Johnson's asked a great question. And I see Kevin Brannigan there. Great to see you, Kevin. Lillian's asking me to go over the 4 cloaks. Yeah, Lillian, I'd love to go over that, but it's too advanced for me to explain in the time we've got for particularly newbies here and people who didn't do that course. But yeah, we will pick that up. I'll pick that up again. I mean, what I am doing is I've got a big couple of gigs over the next couple of weeks. And then once that's out the way, I'm going to start recording all the courses. Mindstore for Life, Mindstore for Business, all the courses that I've taught over the years. The Island, yeah, some of you may remember the transition course, the whole transformation event. We're using the energy beam with the hands and stuff. We'll do that course. I'm going to get all the courses recorded digitally and get them released so that people can access all of that. But that's the only reason why, Lily, it just take too long to explain here just now. Stephen Pilley, bell jar works. Yeah, the bell jar concept, guys, especially for a beginner, it's just this notion that there are energy fields all the time, and so when we did the inner before we did the inner smile, we did the 7 inhalations, and you end up with a big, brilliant white light around your body. There's just this, and Roger Callahan created thought field therapy, TFT, the tapping. There's this notion that we have a field of energy that we project around us. And if someone's been negative and you're processing that negativity through what you're hearing and or just feeling it, then your body processes it. And what we kind of really understand is that as we process it, it has an impact on our energy. It diminishes our energy a little bit. And having lots of energy, being vibrant, is obviously so important just now in the planet for every human being to fight off any challenge that comes their way. That's why stress is important, doing the exercise, looking after yourself, blah, 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 eating the good food. So the bell jar is a concept that when someone's been negative, they're talking away negatively, they're using negative language, you just imagine yourself that coming down over you is a gigantic big bell jar like you used to get in the science labs in schools. And if they don't do that now in school, and they probably don't, goodness sake, then what about a big jam jar that just comes down over you and protects you? And the idea is that in your consciousness, you say to that imaginary bell jar or jam jar for it to protect you from the negativity of others. Hold on a minute. Let me just see, there's a nice point here. I'll come back to the bell jar in a moment because I just want to capture this in case it disappears. Oh, it did disappear. Let me see if I bring it down. Hold on, guys. Hold on a minute. Kevin, it's yourself. A lot of people utilise Mindstore for many, many reasons. Have you found that in the middle of Corona, people are being guided, as in Mindstore textbook guided, to use their other innate capability to do new things for others? I am finding myself literally guided to put my own stuff gently aside just now to focus on supporting my community. It feels good, but I just wondered. Well, Kevin, anybody who's met you and knows you, especially over the years you came to the courses, the recent courses, I don't think anybody who's met you will be surprised that you're doing your community work. I think I think the world, you know, even just listen to that astrologer guy I listened to today, whether we like it or not, we're going through this massive change. And the change has been for the last 200 years. We've been all interested in our position in our lives. That, you know, we get our sort of sense of being here out of what we achieve. That's been about property, that's been about jobs, that's been about getting money, that's been about a lot of just the stuff that has been big over the last 200 years. But it's now, as you can all feel, it's kind of coming to an end. And you can see that guy Trump sitting up there and you've got nothing to offer. It's an old model, it's an old paradigm. Like a lot of these old doctors, forgive me. It's not going to work. So what is happening, you're right, Kevin, is that what's emerging in the age of Aquarius, you know, over the next little while, we'll start to see the emergence of a new type of purpose for why we're here on the planet. It wasn't to get all of that stuff that was part of our journey, and had to happen. But it is about giving, it is about community, it is about a different type of reasoning about why someone would be recognised as being a success. Success was having a good job. Success was having a nice house. Success, and of course I proved that. When I started this, you know, going back 30 years, it was the last 30 years of this phase of our evolution as human beings. Yeah, I had to prove that mine still worked by doing what? By, okay, let's get fancy cars. And I was a man, boy, you know, it's early 30s. Why not get a big car? Why not get a big boat? Why not end up getting a castle? Why not, you know, fill the Royal Concert Hall and all that stuff? Because the idea being, of course, well, if I can be successful, you can be successful by using the same techniques. I had to prove it would work. And then if you did come and you did the advanced stuff, and then you realise, actually, Jack's not really all about that. That was just to prove that it works. But when you go to what we're doing now with the COVID group and what we do with the extreme group, then you realise actually what Mindstill's really about is what Kevin's getting at here. It's about giving and being part of and nurturing and supporting. So the world is changing, thank God, and it's moving in the right direction. So great question, Kevin, fantastic point. Let's move up and see if there's anybody else got a question or two. Excuse my fingers there. Yeah, and someone's up here, low carb, high fat is the best way and sustainable. Yeah, there's, in the low carb community, it's a wide church. You've got people who are very rigid about what they need to do, and then there's people like me who do it completely intuitively. You know, I put my three fingers together, tip of the tongue trigger, and I ask myself, when I'm planning my week's sort of menu, because I do the shopping, I tend to do it on a Tuesday morning, and I cook all week. We get a carry-out takeaway on a Saturday night. And from a Chinese place that doesn't do any MSG, and I can do completely keto with them, and they're fantastic and lovely people. And it's all cooked fresh and amazing. But what I do is, if I fancy eating something, I'm going to use my three fingers and tip of the tongue and ask myself, can I have that little bit more sugar, let's say, than normal? And I listen to my body. So you can do it in all sorts of ways. Someone just said there, oh, Simon Thomas, fantastic, love the transformation course. Are you adding this to the app? Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing is every single course I've ever taught, Simon, every course and every aspect of it, I'll eventually going to record. I've got the equipment now, got the lighting on here. I'll do it in a different setting. This is my office upstairs in the house. It's my own quiet space. But I'll do it in a different part of the house so I can stand up and go on with it. And I've got everything I need, and we'll get going with that. After, as I say, we've got 2 big weeks for a client, which is fantastic work, by the way. It's amazing work that we're doing, which hopefully in due course some of the lessons of that we'll be able to bring to you as well. But anyway, it's all in the edge. Okay, so any other questions, guys? I see Kevin's jumped back. Let's see what he says here. Brilliant, thanks, Jack. I had meeting people in general, it's been meeting people in general, not just myself, but my question, responses from others, and lets me know I asked. Yeah, okay, good stuff, thank you. Yeah, Joanne Nuttall, fantastic. Cholesterol is not the enemy. Literally all the keto podcasts will cover this. Yeah, absolutely. The whole thing, so Katrina Allen, do a Google search for Ivor Cumming, you will find them. Yeah, of course, guys, if you're interested. But go and watch my Ivor and my sort of conversation last week. You'll find it at the Jack Black Mind Store YouTube channel under playlists, and you'll get an introduction to Ivor. You get a feel for him. You can sense he's a cool dude, and then you go on and you look at the interviews he's had over the years, or you go to the Carnivore MDs. The low carb MD guys. I just found them recently. That's because it was recommended to me on that podcast with Ivor. I've just been amazed at the quality. I've heard all the guys before, but the way those guys ask the questions as doctors is really superb. And so you'll find everything you need about the keto thing. You'll find, and so what the reason for the low carb, why I'm so passionate about it, is it blows out of the water the paradigm we all believed in. So, if you're way back at the beginning, and some of you were saying, oh, hey, look, I remember that newsletter you sent out. And even today, someone who's on the front cover of something, said, hey, it's good to see my photograph again. And I'm so grateful to hear for these people again who were way back at the beginning. But they will know that I was always saying things, look, guys, eat this. I was fascinated by the latest stuff about maximising your energy, your vitality, and going for it in your life, because Mindset was going to give you that at one level. Why not go out and just grab everything? Because you had the energy to do it. So we clearly, inputs and outputs, what were you eating? And I was following the trends at the time and on the cutting edge and all the rest of it. I did everything you could. But fundamentally what I was doing, I went through a 12-year period of vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, in and out of those kind of areas by and large. But you know what I was doing? I believed the nonsense that butter was bad for me, bad for my heart, that lard was bad for my heart, that dairy products were bad for my heart. So you know what I did? I got sunflower oil, gallons of it over the years, pour it into pans, fried up, because I did all the cooking, fry up the onions, fry up the garlic, make my, my usual fare back then. We've all got them, our favourites, and I still the spag bol guy, who isn't, the chili guy, who isn't, the curry guy, who isn't. And guess what? Really bad food. All vegetarian, terrible fat. And guess what I was cooking in it? Very often, high carb vegetables. And then I put it on rice or pasta. And for 20 years, 30 years, eating all that stuff. And I get ill, guys. Not a nice illness. Now I now know what caused that. I can't go and claim anyone, but look at the figures that Ivor talked about last week. Look at the research. What we all thought was healthy wasn't healthy. And what is healthy doesn't seem healthy. I'll tell you a secret, it's my birthday today. And, we thought, well, what we do, something special. So Laura very kindly made me a keto birthday cake. So what did we get? It was just a lemon drizzle cake. So what's in there? About 4 or 5 eggs. There's some coconut flour, some almond flour, xylitol as a sugar substitute. What else was in there? Lemon juice from the lemons, real lemons, some of the zest. Listen to this, butter. And listen to this one, creamed cheese, Philadelphia, tons of it. And that makes the most amazing, moist, beautiful lemon drizzle cake. So what did we do? We have the cake. I got a couple of wee bottles of champagne, the little ones you can get. Waitrose sell them, just little ones. They're kind of expensive for what you get. But so we drove out, took the dog a walk, got ourselves back to a nice spot, sat down in the car, and what we did was, a wee bottle of champagne each and a nice glass, took the glasses, had a piece of cake, all keto. Champagne's not got a lot of sugar in it because it's twice fermented, and well, just enough of a glass. And nice wee time listening to that podcast by the guy who's the astrologer in the investment world. It's phenomenal. What a birthday. Then you come home at night and think, okay, I've got the guys on tonight, so what am I going to eat? Well, Caroline Nixon, oh, thank you, all the way from America. Good stuff. The guy we'll be interviewing next week's from America. There you go. Nice. So what do I have tonight? Wait to hear this. I would never have ate this. Never. 20 years ago. 10 years ago, I wouldn't have ate this. No, I had 3 fried eggs in lard and smoky bacon, guys. Smoky bacon. Really healthy. Seriously healthy for my heart, especially at my age. I would never have thought I would have done that. Ever. When I thought I was doing the healthy thing and becoming slowly but surely ill. And if I hadn't stopped, slowly but surely type 2 diabetic. And all eating healthy food, according to the paradigm. Anyway, so I only do this stuff, guys, to tease you, to kind of maybe annoy you enough to go and look. And the thing about it is, do you know the other thing about when I was eating all that good food? I was never satiated. I was never satisfied. I was always hungry. And you know the other thing I did was, I could never go to the Indian restaurant and order just one. I ordered a big pile of rice. I'd order 2 meals. We'd all share the meals, but I'd always make sure there was an extra one. And a big naan bread. Killing myself. Killing myself slowly. You don't suddenly get it. The type 2 diabetes. You don't suddenly become metabolically upset. It doesn't just happen overnight. Although your insulin is through the roof immediately. But the illnesses, they take their time. But once they come quick fire. I did get an illness, a serious illness. And I had to go alternative because they didn't have a solution. And since I'd become keto or low carb, no symptoms whatsoever, none. But stress also played a role in that, doing too much, thinking I was superhuman. So the thing is, you know, keto and low carb, the whole lifestyle is totally counterintuitive. But the science is phenomenal. The people pushing it are phenomenal. And I only tell you because I care for you all. I love you all. Because if you didn't turn up to courses, I wouldn't have got anywhere. And some of you came to all the courses. And I loved every one of you. And you came up and you would talk to me and we'd have a laugh and you would share a story. And if I experimented with something like Simon pointing out, you know, the transformation event with the big balloon ball thing, how many people would stand in a room and do that? And ask people to pay for the privilege to come and listen? Not many, I suspect. But I just listen to the inner voice and you got to do it. And my inner voice is screaming at me to tell everybody about low carb. Especially now that COVID showed up. 19, what about 20, what about 21, what about 22? What about the next thing that comes along? Well, you need to be as healthy as you can. And it's about inputs and outputs. And remember, you can do it as a vegan, but you can't do it as a grainarian. Never as a grainarian. Grains, as you heard Ivor last week, there, yesterday's model. So there I had a cake today, no grains. But no one would have known that it wasn't a proper cake if I'd given them a slice. And you can make bread and you can do all that stuff you need in the beginning. I don't have cakes every week, it's just because it's my birthday. But going back to it, so I'd always have one big bowl of chilli that I'd made. Wonderful, people love my food. Then a second, as big as the first. Why? Because I was constantly hungry. Because carbs make you hungry when they're combined with the bad fats. Anyway. Okay, here's a question. Hold on a minute. Alan, Jack, on the food front and Ivor, I have a family member with high cholesterol who eats fairly healthy but can't seem to reduce it. Any areas they could look at or podcasts? Yes, the high cholesterol thing. The place to go is, he's not called the Fat Emperor for nothing, Alan. Ivor Cummins, the Fat Emperor. His whole thing is about the fat thing and the cholesterol thing. Cholesterol is the biggest myth of all time. There is a tiny, tiny proportion, from what I can gather, 2,000 hours of study, listening, just, not as a student, but just in there. There's this tiny amount of people who do have issues with cholesterol, tiny amount. But everybody else, what they are testing for the cholesterol thing is nonsense. It's absolutely the worst science on the planet. On the planet. And if you go and dig out Ivor and you then follow back through his stuff, and you maybe get his book that he wrote with Jeffrey Gerber, Eat Rich, Live Long. I'd recommend the book. He explains it all there. You can download it in Kindle tonight and read most of it before you fall asleep. And so I would introduce your friend to that. Ivor Cummins, he's on, you can either listen to him, you can watch him on YouTube, and of course all the other guys. You can go and, for example, the Diet Doctor podcast is now featuring a guy who created, listen to this, the low carb, what was it called again? The low carb cardiologist? Or was it called, what, James, might have been keto cardiologist, but the guy who now does the Diet Doctor podcast, he's a cardiologist. And you'll find all these cardiologists who for years were thinking, why are we doing this cholesterol stuff? Well, it's not a conspiracy, it's just that lots of people make lots of money out of cholesterol by getting people to go on pills they don't need and measuring the wrong cholesterol. And as soon as you get onto this low carb thing, then the cholesterol changes and the doctors freak out because one goes up and one comes down, but other things happen. And you need to be smarter than your doctor to explain it to them. You just have to take some printouts and you'll get that stuff from the likes of the Fat Emperor. Most of us, this is where the world's changing. Kevin asked the question that led me to the point about the astrology and so on. The world's changing. All these older guys, and here I am with the grey hair, the old guys with the grey hair and the old paradigms, it's not going to change until they all sadly pass on. And the ones who are like those young doctors on the MD podcast, the Low Carb MD podcast, those guys are asking the right questions. It's the youngsters, it's the young people, and it's like going to the doctor and saying, well, wait a minute, I know more about this than you, because you do. Even specialists don't know enough. They haven't got time, they're not off their feet. Especially if it's a paradigm that's alternative to theirs. And very often their science that they're using for their decision making is pathetically bad, guys. But anyway, it's not a conspiracy, it's just they don't have time and they're all well-meaning, of course they are. Yep, I've never met a doctor I've gone to yet who was really, well, there was one that wasn't so smart, but they all generally have their best intentions. But they couldn't help me. No, the solutions weren't good enough for me. I wasn't going to take them, so I had to find my way, and that's how I've ended up with the low carb thing and how I've ended up with the keto thing. It's out of experimentation and the desire to get healthy. And I tell you what, there's another birthday today. Still feel that I'm 25. I've got the waist that I had when I was 25. Never felt better. Amazing. Anyway. So, okay guys, we're maybe moving on now. What are we doing? Oh, John, we've ran on, for God's sake. Sorry, get carried away. I'll just see if there's anything further down here quickly. A Jack Black cookbook. Yes, I suppose so. Okay, so guys, that's it. Good stuff. I've got what I needed to do was get the idea about who you'd like me to interview and stuff. So I'll get on with that. Hopefully we've got someone for next week and so on. So listen, thanks for watching as usual. Thanks for all those nice comments. I'll catch them later. I can't see them usually when I'm talking away to you. So thanks guys. See you next Wednesday. Bye now. Bye-bye.